All right. Morning, everybody. Obviously, good week to recharge a little bit and get a little break. Looking forward to next 4 weeks. Big week for us against Minnesota going up there. I know they're trying to clinch and clinch their division. Obviously, didn't get it done against Detroit. So they'll be gunning to close this thing out. And we got to go up there and play our best ball. So looking forward to it.
All right, we'll start with Bob Kravitz.
Yeah, Jeff, have you excuse me? Have you decided on a quarterback yet for next Saturday?
Yeah. I mean, Matt is going to be, Matt's going to be our guy going in Saturday, and so he's, I'm planning on him going and practicing well this week and going in and going to play a good game against the Vikings here Saturday.
Stephen Holder.
Hey, Jeff, in keeping with the topic of Matt, I think you had some prior relationship with him before you got here. But even if you hadn't, it's been a roller coaster for him, right? I mean, it certainly isn't the season that he envisioned this being. He got benched at one point. He's gone through a lot on and off the field. How have you seen him kind of handle all of this? I don't know. Just what have you observed and learned about him throughout the process of this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's battled. I mean, I didn't. I'd be if I have no idea before I got here, kind of how he handled it. When I got here, he was coming off of his injury, and so obviously I got to see him on that portion. But I think he's battled. I think he's a realist. We talked about it. About Dallas and about even our game in Pittsburgh not being what we want. And I think he shoulders a lot of the burden. We haven't been good enough in a lot of areas. So, I hate to pinpoint one guy or one position, but obviously that's the quarterback position in the NFL, right? As you get way too much credit, you get way too much blame. But there's part of his game that has to improve. And we talked about that with a number of different guys. We got to play our best. And if we're going to win, we need Matt playing his A game. And that's my expectations for him. But, man, he's mentally tough, Steven. Like this guy's tough, man. He shows up ready to work. He's taken some shots this season. And then again, he's honest about his performance. He doesn't try to cover it. If he's not doing his part, he'll own that as well, which I appreciate. But I can guarantee this isn't how he envisioned this season. But since I've been here, that he's handled himself like a pro for sure.
Greg Doyle.
Yeah, Jeff. Hi, I got 2 questions for you. First one's about Ryan. I was off last week, so thank you for that. But something you said to the guys last week caught my eye. It was about Matt's shoulder and whether it's affecting him. And you said that's not the kind of thing you ask players. And I read that and thought, I don't understand that. What's the downside to asking your quarterback if his throwing shoulder's okay?
Yeah, so it's a great point, and I did ask him after you asked, but no, I mean, here's the thing, man. From a play, I've done this a long time. Most players are gonna they're gonna tell you what you want to hear, but he from him playing, I asked him a long time ago, and this goes for everybody, not just Matt. Is if you're I believe you're physically 100% if you're going out there and playing. If you're not, you need to let me know so I can make an adjustment or at least help you in the best way I can. No one is full on healthy at this point in the season, Greg. You and I both know that everybody's playing with something. But if I feel like it's going to hurt the team, you got to give me the opportunity to make that chance or make that adjustment. But when he and I have had that discussion, he's told me he feels good. His arm feels fresh, no fatigue, no issue from the injury, and that no play is being affected because of it. And I didn't hear your second question. Did you have one?
Yeah, this is actually 1A. I got 2 coming. 1A based on that. Everybody rolling your eyes, you'll like this question. Did you ever tell your coach that you couldn't play in the NFL? Did you ever say you were too hurt to play?
Did I ever tell my Greg, honestly, I don't think I was ever asked. I was either ruled out because they knew I couldn't. There was no tweener for me. So I never had that specific. I was either out or I wasn't. I didn't have any in betweens. I played a pretty good amount, so I didn't miss many. I'll put it that way.
Jelani Woods' snap count last week seemed to catch you by surprise. Is there any way, you got a lot of things in your mind on the sidelines, is there any way to be on top of that or anything like that more?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we actually have talked about touches, and part of that was the the rotation of what's going on at tight end when plays are getting dialed in or what we're trying to do with our formations and personnel groups. Jelani's done a heck of a job coming back, and I love what he's done. But to your point, when he is on the field, he has shown up in big ways. I expect more of that, and so we got to get more opportunities for him to make those kind of plays for us. So yeah, we'll make sure we're on top of that and monitoring those things. Make sure that we give him an opportunity to do the things he's done the last couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Mike Chappell.
Jeff, at this point in the season, as a player in a team, you sort of are who you are. I mean, this is who you are. So going with Matt, how do you address the turnovers that for him and for the whole team that are just killing you guys?
Yeah, it's casual and careless, and we as an offense can't be defined by that. And Chap, you just said it right. It's killing the football team, and as much as you would like your defense to make these stands and all these kinds of things, when you give them 4 on your side in a quarter, chances are they're not going to be. I think one we gave up the touchdown as we turned it over. So you're not giving them any opportunity to play good defense. And so I'm as frustrated as anybody about them. We're continuing to emphasize and stress those. So much of that to me goes back to the player that it's in charge of, right? Whether it's the running back or the tight end or the receivers or the quarterback, you got to protect the ball, man. You've got 53 livelihoods in your hand every time you touch it, and it needs to be. You need to carry yourself with that type of respect for that ball. And so we haven't done a good enough job. We've emphasized that the last couple of weeks, so we're going to continue to do it because you saw in Dallas and really, I mean, I'm not sure we've won the turnover battle since I've been here, even the Raiders game that we did win. We've got to be better in protecting the football and understanding that carelessness will cause to losses in this game.
Thanks, Jeff.
James Boyd. Good,
Jeff,
James.
Yeah, sorry. Jeff, just curious. So I know you say stick with Matt Ryan, but he leads the league in fumbles and interceptions. So I guess my question is, with the struggle that he's had, again, not all on him, but what has he done to keep his job over a guy like Nick Foles, who hasn't played this season and obviously hasn't struggled this season because he hasn't played?
Yeah. No, it's a great question. I mean, here's the reality is not all of them. You can't put all of them on him. And if you go back and watch the tape, which I've done a number of times over these past 4 or 5 days that I've had off, not all of them can be attributed just to the quarterback, right? Whether it's the receivers or whether it's the back, whether it's the tight end guys being where they're supposed to be, the expectations of the quarterback of where it all fits, pressure being there, whether it's from the offensive line or the running back or the tight end, the timing of the play. There's been a number of different things. And again, I think the problem, James, is like, from the outside looking in, you want to attribute all those to one guy. And if I could, that would be an easy position to change and and all of a sudden now you think you've made the team, all of a sudden we got no warts, but that's not the case. I mean, I feel like Matt has continued to give us the best chance. And unfortunately we keep turning the ball over, but it's not just on him. It's on a number of different guys. And again, those are the details that we talk about, being able to move it from the practice field to the game field, is making sure that guy knows where you're supposed to be and that you're going to be there on time. And then him putting the ball in the right place matters. Position of the ball, not just throwing it to the right guy, but putting the ball out in the right spot. So everybody has had their fair share of screw ups to cause these things. We got to get it fixed collectively as well.
All right, we'll go 3 more. Joel Erickson.
Hey, Jeff, you kind of had a chance to take stock of where things were over the bye. Were there any changes you wanted to make specifically after the bye that you maybe had more time to make? Anything you wanted to change about the way you've handled things so far?
From a personal perspective?
Personal and team.
Yeah, I would say just, obviously going back and, looking at the last 4 games, areas that we feel like improvement can be made, whether that's tempo from the offense, answers when we're not getting, what we expected to get, we can call them unscouted looks, right? When people are doing things, how can we make an adjustment quicker? From the line perspective, more vertical push, like all the different concepts that we go into each week, and how can we get those things addressed? So there's been a number of different areas specifically from players. I've had conversation with different guys. I'm not going to go into them about getting guys playing to the level that I hope they can get to, encouraging guys, and setting expectations of what that looks like over the next 4 weeks. And I've told them, I met with them this morning. We got 4 winnable games, but that doesn't, it starts in Minnesota on Saturday. And from a football team perspective, there's still a lot to play for, and you need to go make plays. And that means your individual battles. We need to see individual improvement from each guy and position groups collectively. So that's really my expectation in the next 4 weeks. But again, that starts Saturday.
Nate Atkins.
Hey, Jeff, you've kind of touched on this already, but just kind of curious what the bye week looks like for you. First bye week as an NFL coach. So how did you kind of divide that time up?
Yeah, a lot of film work. I've obviously with Minnesota coming up, I started with them, then looked at us as a whole, went through where I thought we were, offense, defense, special teams, what guys have been playing to where they are, with the coordinators talking about which guys were playing where we expected and which ones we need to kind of push along, and then looking at future opponents, kind of checking out who we had, where they all were, and then finally resetting back to Minnesota. And so that's really the way that my week went. Stayed here in town, just trying to make sure that on top of all of it, but that's really the way the week broke down for me.
All right, last one, Kevin Bowen.
Jeff, will Nick continue to be the backup?
Yeah. Nick's going to continue to be the backup, and we're not making any change there right now. So yeah, he'll be backing up Matt.
And then you expect Matt for the rest of the year to be the guy, or will this be a week-to-week thing?
Man, I sure hope so. Yeah, I mean that's why he's there, right? Is the few changes you can make to go win. And like I told everybody, man, that the focus of this is to win games, and so we all got to go play better. But Matt's no different. I mean, he has to play better than he did last week if we have any shot to win. And so, you hope that he goes and answers that call and meets that expectation and goes and plays as well as he can. And we as a football team do. Winning cures a lot of ails, but we ain't been doing much winning. So we got to get that thing fixed and go find ways to win.